Hey, howdy everyone. Welcome back to Nonsensical. My name is Isaac, and I don't think Australia or Australians are real.
My name is Peter, and I got backed into by my brother a while ago, and I still feel the ripple effect on my car. And it's funny because he laughs on the rear part of my car. It's like a ripple of the dent that's still there for the last 2 years because I got my car, and a week later, my brother backed into it.
And see, I just found out about this. He has had this car for like 2 years at this point, and I just saw the dent the other day, and I was like, oh man, when'd you get that? And you're like, oh, when I first got the car, and I'm like, wait, what the?
Yeah.
Also, when you said you still feel a ripple effect, I thought you would be like driving, and also you're like, no! You also get like PTSD, and you just see like the truck like just beeping.
I don't have PTSD from
your brother's face is like he's also just sitting in the passenger seat next to you, and you're like, you.
Yeah. I'm also one singular color today, so you've got the color, and we've got the color in the middle. So that's
colors.
Right. Yeah.
If you haven't seen this show before, it's a podcast. Surprise, surprise. It's a podcast where two guys, me and him, talk about whatever, whenever, and however we want. Sometimes we have a topical episode. Sometimes we play a game. Sometimes we just imitate donkey noises, and whoever has the best one gets to pick what dress the other guy has to wear for the next episode. That hasn't happened yet, actually. But that's a good idea for a future episode. I'm going to keep that up here in the old noggin. But today we have a topic planned, not a game, but believe me, fun games are planned for the future. But before we get into all that wacky, juicy stuff, we like to catch up a little bit, have some small talk. So Peter, my brother, my guy, my blood. Well, not my blood, but what's up, blood? that type of blood. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Nothing super exciting. I mean, same old work. But the only thing is, I had to go pick up my books for the big S that's coming up next week.
Submarine?
No, school.
Oh.
I also had to pick up my computer, and that was an interesting thing because I opened up my computer because they want me to log in before I end up leaving the campus, and it was completely dead, and then I plugged it in, but I didn't notice that the other side of the outlet, or the other side of the cord, wasn't actually plugged into an outlet. So I was sitting there for like 10 minutes, and I was
nerd.
Just, yeah,
But yeah, I'm picking up textbooks tomorrow for school. I tried to get them off of Amazon, but they actually cost more.
Yeah.
Like each of them cost a few more bucks on Amazon. And I'm so frugal. I always choose the rent and used option for school. So it's always the cheapest option possible. Although one of the books that I have to get for one of my classes, the school is offering it for $60, which I'm like, oof, but the Amazon version of it is $187. So I think I'll have to pass on the Amazon choice for that. But nothing overly crazy for me either. We had a game night on Sunday.
That's right, we did. That was
I guess not a game night. But
it was
game
a game afternoon.
Game afternoon.
It was my impressions of it. It was fun, but it was loud.
I could tell from your point of view. I was like, oh no. You're also sitting next to me for one of the games, and you guys don't know this, but I'm actually a really loud person. I know I'm really reserved and quiet on this podcast, but I have been blessed by the Lord above with a megaphone
vocal cord.
Esophagus. But yeah, I'm kind of loud, and during one of the board games, he was sitting right next to me, and his port ears, I saw like blood coming out of one of them. But
it wasn't quite that bad, but
no, it was fun though. We played Jackbox, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. We played Quiplash, which is my favorite game. Quiplash, I could play that for hours. Mm-hmm. But no, that was fun. Yeah, that's it for the episode, guys. Bye. No, I'm just kidding. It's time for Isaac's Corner of Absurdity. So Isaac's Corner of Absurdity today is kind of similar to last week's, but it's not recent headlines of this week. It's just, it is 10 strange yet true historical events. I'm not going to read all 10 of them because some of them are kind of boring, but there are some very strange historical events that have taken place. This is on a website called Listverse, and this article is written by Michael Dawson. The very first one I want to talk about is the Pig War.
The Pig War.
Wars are always being fought over a multitude of things. Some reasons for war are stranger than others, like the infamous Pig War of 1859, which was fought between Great Britain and the United States. It all began with the 1846 Oregon Treaty, which was supposed to give one of the nations control over the San Juan Islands for both military strategy and resource opportunity. However, ambiguous wording gave the US and UK ownership over them, leading to heated conflict. This tension erupted when a pig from the British company Hudson Bay Farm was shot by Lyman Cutler, an American settler, igniting the Great Pig War. The strangest thing about this conflict was that there weren't any casualties or any open conflict. For the next 12 years, it was mostly a peaceful standoff that culminated with the International Arbitration deciding to give the United States full control of the islands in 1872. Though the war was mostly a strange occurrence, it went down in history as an example of small events triggering large disputes.
So, was it accident or was it on purpose that they shot the pig?
It doesn't clarify. It just says it was just shot by Lyman Cutler. First off, Great name, Lyman Cutler. But I'm slightly disappointed because when it said the Pig War, I mean, come on, maybe it's just me, but I really hope I'm not the only one who imagined a bunch of pigs with muskets and like old-timey like Revolutionary War hats, so I could just charge at each other. And but that one is just it's so random.
It is
of a war. The next one. Kentucky Meat Shower, 1876. When people hear Kentucky and meat, they typically think of fried chicken. However, on one unlucky and unpleasant day in 1876, citizens of Kentucky were subject to one of history's weirdest and grossest events, the Kentucky Meat Shower. It all started on March 3rd, 1876 in Olympia Springs of Bath County, Kentucky. Olympia Springs of Bath County, Kentucky. Oh my gosh.
That's quite the city.
That's a mouthful. An apocalyptic amount of meat chunks of various sizes fell from the sky, covering a large 100 by 50 yard area.
Whoa.
Apocalypse. Currently, there's no single accepted hypothesis for why this happened, but the most plausible one is that the meat chunks were vomited by a large flock of vultures flying above. It fits both the dispersion of the meat and the typical behavior of vultures, which is to vomit food when they feel threatened. A much more fun hypothesis is that the god of meat was simply angry at Kentucky that morning. Oh my gosh, I didn't really read that one before, and I didn't see the vulture thing at all. So, to this day, they still don't have a confirmed reason of why meat just fell on them. Also, vultures throw up meat when they feel threatened. That is an interesting alpha move.
It is.
I don't know. I feel like if I was getting cornered by a bunch of like big men in an alleyway, I feel like if I threw up, they just like either laugh at me or just wince a little bit and then beat me up. I don't think I'd scare them off.
That's true.
And also, obviously, like, I want to see what people's depiction of the god of meat looks like. I just want to imagine like, if someone gets like a picture and they're like, draw us the god of meat, they draw just this really muscular guy in a tank top, like just like how Dwayne Johnson looks like, but with like hair and like a sausage link necklace.
Okay.
But he's just flexing all the time. They're like, oh, Lord of Meat, and he just like throws a T-bone steak at someone. Like, but yeah, so there's that one. And the last one I want to look at is Operation Cat Drop.
We had first the
Pig War.
The Pig War. Then we have random meat falling from the sky. And now we have cats dropping.
Operation Cat Drop.
Oh, okay.
For the vast majority of people, cats are friends and family. I'm not a cat person.
Yeah, nor am I.
But for the Royal Air Force military, cats are a weapon to protect billions of dollars in damage.
Huh. Okay, that's an interesting choice.
You learn something new every day. Malaria was a pretty serious issue. Oh, malaria?
Not malaria.
Malaria sounds like a name. That's my daughter, Malaria. Malaria was a pretty serious issue in the 1950s, prompting the World Health Organization to take action against it in affected areas. The WHO used DDT in Borneo to combat the rampant mosquito population, which was effective at first, but quickly led to serious issues like wiping out animals like wasps and geckos and poisoning the wild food supply for the cat population. With fewer cats around, rats surged in population. To combat this, they initiated Operation Cat Drop. Cats were put into crates and parachuted into Sarawak, Borneo, which completely replenished the cat population and led to a huge decrease in rats. By all accounts, it was a success. It was a success, though the exact method of it hasn't been done again for obvious reasons.
So okay, wait, but also imagine the people in that area. You're just strolling down, and all of a sudden you hear a plane go, and then you find like cats, like
Just
skydiving.
like the picture I have it in my head is like each crate just has a tiny little parachute just they're just floating down slowly while it's, and then like it has to be that for some reason once they all hit the ground, all the crates open up at once, so they all just like step out. And they also say there was a huge like a huge increase of rats, or they just like waves of just rats like just taking over the entire city. Like that's terrifying. No wonder cats were deployed. But also it says replenished the cat population and led to a huge decrease in rats. Man, they just completely basically like genocide. They're just like get them boys and girls probably, and just will they eat them?
Yeah, I think that's
I guess.
the deal.
Just I don't know. It's like I get why they did it, but something about it seems slightly messed up for multiple reasons. But with these interesting historical tidbits and stories said, that will do it for Isaac's Corner of Absurdity.
The idea of this episode would be to allow you guys and everyone, you know, because everyone has a little different. As you look back at your past, you've got different fond memories or fond memories or memories
Less than fond.
Yeah, that you wish you could erase. Everyone's got stuff in their past that either is something funny to laugh about or something that hopefully you don't have to cry about, but you know.
And there's also always like let's be honest, we were all annoying in some way.
Exactly.
We're not the same person we were 10 years ago. Hopefully not.
Yeah. If I'm being honest,
the point is to mature and grow as a person.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, like that phase of life from 6th grade, man, you know, why do we have 3 different, I guess, schools? You know, you have elementary school, you have middle school, and you have high school. Is it because they want to isolate the middle schoolers that are the most awkward, the most annoying, like the most... And if you're a middle schooler, you're going to look back on this and say, yeah, I was that.
You're going to be insulted right now, but you're going to look back in 5 years and be like, oh my gosh, they are so right. I was an annoying little crap.
Yeah.
No, like...
You grow out of that phase, but...
I personally think what we should do with middle schoolers is they don't even deserve a school. They just need to be sent off to an island somewhere. Like
let them grow up a little bit, and then we can bring them back.
They need to have like just a mass security and like herd it into pens and just like I'm not kidding, man. Some middle schoolers, I know a handful of you. You have a brother. You have 2 brothers who are in middle school. They're fine. Like if you guys are watching this, you guys. Much love. I don't know why I kissed my hand when I was talking about you guys, but you guys are okay. There are some other middle schoolers though who they can make me so mad. And middle school is also the memories that I had the most awkward
interactions,
moments, and just like I was full of raging hormones because we're going through puberty and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, it's just something about middle school, and I think it is to spare the elementary schoolers. The elementary school students, that way they're not like eaten alive, and so that way the high schoolers don't kill the middle schoolers.
Yeah, okay.
Let me get that was my disdain for middle schoolers aside. Continue, Mr. Brownville.
Yeah, well, we do have a set of questions, and hopefully that might prompt some more conversation, but shall we get into the questions?
Yes. Before we get into these questions, I just want to say that while this will be my more realistic answer, my current answer that I would have on instinct, if I met my past self, the first thing I would say or do, I'd probably like punch him or something.
Like, what are you thinking?
Like, he'd just walk over to me and I'd be like, ugh. Like, gosh, you were so annoying. Like, I don't think I could last being in a room with 12-year-old Isaac for more than 5 minutes. I'd be like, guys, boot up the machine. I need to go home. I can barely stand myself. Little Isaac is... Okay, so the first answer we have down here on this beautiful document that we have is if we were to talk to our past selves, if they can understand us, first off. And if we were to talk to our past selves, whether that's through telephone, time machine, carrier pigeon, what is a piece of advice you wish you could give your past self?
We have kind of thought about this and talked it through beforehand, and we have kind of touched on it in the couple other episodes that we've talked about, but like advice that we would give our past selves.
Like specifically us.
Specifically. And in my mind, I'm kind of aiming at that 6th grade through 9th, 10th grade, kind of that era where you don't know enough and you don't really care to know enough.
You're trying to figure out who you are.
Exactly.
Because, like, by the second half of high school, the personality I have is almost identical to the personality I have now. Early high school and middle school, I was trying. I didn't know who the heck I was.
Yep. Yeah. So, like, one piece of advice that I would give my younger self, maybe some critical advice, is be okay being in different friend groups. You don't have to be in like the one friend group dedicated to like, you know, you might get like all the band kids, or you might get all the, you know,
the nerds.
Yeah, exactly.
The jocks,
or just the weirdos or whatever. So like for me, if I was going to tell my 6th, 7th, 8th grade self, branch out. Be okay with talking with other people, because you kind of need to wean out some people in your life sometimes during that time, and it's easier to do that when you have more people to talk to.
You need a balance of personalities.
Yes, absolutely.
Being only around theater kids you'll only become a theater kid, and I don't think that's the most healthy thing. And that's the same for being only around jocks and becoming only jock-minded. That's also not good. Being just a nerd, that might be the worst one of all. Says me. I am nerd. But no, that's a good one, because I was the first 2 years of like middle school, I wasn't part of a designated friend group. I was just kind of friends with whoever. The last year though, I was only in one specific group, and that was kind of like the more nerdy social outcasts of the school. And I think that wasn't healthy for me. So no, that's a good piece of advice.
Be in multiple different friend groups.
Branch out.
Yeah.
Experiment.
Yeah.
The piece of advice I'd give myself is stop worrying so much about what other people think. I was very uncomfortable with kind of like who I was in front of other people, because I was so like every middle school boy, I so badly wanted to be cool. I so badly wanted the most popular boy in the school's like approval. I just wanted to be like, oh, mister, am I in your group? Give me a pat on the back or stuff like that. And even just like, I would sometimes like pretend like I didn't like superheroes or something like that, because like, oh, I don't think that's cool, guys. Like, or other stuff. For like the longest time, like I kind of hid like me liking like WWE and stuff like that, because a lot of people like don't like that type of stuff because it's fake, and I would always be like, I'd either just never bring it up, or I'm just like, yeah, it's dumb, it's stupid, when I'm like deep down, you know, I love that stuff. I cared way too much about what other people thought, and that went on for a while. Like that one actually was like middle school to high school, where I was always like thinking like, oh man, that person probably thinks I'm a weirdo, when, let me be honest with you, people are not thinking about you nearly as much as you think they are.
Yep.
Like, I think my mom kind of like hit me in the head one day, not literally, but figuratively. she's a very nice lady. She like I was like, oh man, they probably think I'm a freak, and she's like, they're not thinking about you. I can just tell you that right now. They're not. And it took me a while to finally accept that no one's thinking about you. And if they are, who cares? Who really cares? Do what you like. Do what interests you. Just be yourself. That will get you get the approval of other people way easier, because they're going to be like, hey, this guy's comfortable with who they are. That means I can be comfortable with who I am.
Another tidbit of advice for my past self would be maybe just shut your mouth for a little bit.
I was going to say the same thing with me. I was going to say, just shut up for once.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, I don't know why I thought this was cool, but like making random noises or like laughing or making other people laugh in an obnoxious way, or just like calling myself a weirdo. I had this whole thing when I was in like late middle school, early high school, where I just put my title of who I was weirdo spelled wrong. W like with the no what like I don't know how you spell it because I'm not very good at spelling, but like with the I in the wrong place. So weirdo, like W-I...
W-I-E.
Yeah, there we go, like that. I always thought that was cool. That was who I was. I was W-I-E.
Like, I'm so quirky.
I just made a whole thing of it. Okay, that was fun in the moment, but also, like, you were kind of insecure because you wanted to put a title on yourself.
It kind of sounds like what you were trying to do, what I was trying to do, was that you were trying to establish a character for yourself. Because it's like, you know, I watched a lot of, like, those Disney, like, sitcom type shows, like, if you've heard of, like, you know, like iCarly, Wizards. Well, I guess that one's Nickelodeon, but, like, iCarly, Wizards of Waverly Place, the Thundermans, all that type of stuff. And with those characters, it's always like, this person's the nice one, this person's the mean one, this person's the funny one, this person's the weird one, and stuff like that. And I always wanted to be like, okay, we're all, in my friend group, we all have our specific role. I always wanted to have that role as like the funny one who was like kind of mean too. Like I was very like snarky. I am a naturally snarky person in real life, but back then it was very forced, where I thought everything I said was like gold. Like I was just throwing one-liners left and right, and people are probably just like, man, who is this guy? Shut up.
Hence why you got into a fist fight, which you could go listen to that episode later.
I mean, different things led up to that, but yes, sure. But yeah, I don't know. I thought I was so funny, and I tried way too hard to be funny. All right, the next question we have on our list here is, what are some annoying traits that you have gladly grown out of? Or that you at least think you did, because for all I know, I'm still the annoying little rat I used to be.
Well, I like to think that I've definitely grown out of...
No, same here.
Grown out of a lot of the different characteristics that I had as a younger guy. One of them is, learning how to be okay with just not talking sometimes, and just shutting my mouth and not being as obnoxious, maybe, is the better terms. As I've now been in the workforce for a year, and that's weird to say and think about, but I have been at an
Working
office
man,
job.
Peter.
Yeah, I've been at an office job for like a year and 4 months, and that's grown me in a lot of different ways. And like with other life events that have happened in the last little bit, it's like I'm now, I wouldn't say I'm like fully an adult because I'm not doing,
More of an
I'm
adult
not
than
like,
I am.
I don't, like right now I'm not necessarily living on my own at the moment, and like, you know, I'm a lot more independent. I'm like way more independent than I was even like a year or two ago, but like the idea of another trait that I think that I have grown out of, which is good that I've grown out of it, is like dependence on other people. Because when you're younger, you're first dependent on your parents for food and for
Naturally.
Naturally. And when I was like...
Kind of weird if you weren't.
Hey,
Mom, I went and hunted this deer.
You know, being dependent on other people for happiness or joy or whatever, and also just gaining independence is a good thing in our stage of life. It's necessary.
Yep.
But, those are a couple of things that I feel like I have evolved from as I've grown into an adult. How about you, Isaac?
I mean, I would like to say I'm completely independent. I'm not. I have, the areas I am very independent, but there's a lot of stuff I still need my parents' help with because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting there though. I will be, hopefully, eventually. But the biggest one for me, I think, is this one is actually more high school age rather than middle school, but I've like to think I've grown out of is that I used to use a lot of people as like my therapist type of thing.
Yep. I did the same thing too.
I'm pretty sure I did the same thing with you a bunch, and a bunch of other friends.
It's good to have people around you.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe not using them as a crutch.
No,
like you're trying to explain.
It's great to have friends that if you're struggling with something, whether it's anxiety or something actually like physical or whatever, that talk to, and they can either just listen, they can give advice, they can slap you in the face if you need it and stuff like that. But I don't want to say I used my friends, but like I feel like I just use them as my therapist just because I wanted the attention. And sometimes not like the pity, but like, I don't know what it was, but it was like kind of like that.
I get it.
I wanted that like, oh, you poor thing. Like, I'm so sorry type thing. I wanted people to feel bad for me I don't know why.
Yeah.
Human nature wants that.
Well, the funny thing is like,
because like now I don't want anyone pitying me. Like, that's weird. Like that's like a thing I don't want. I don't know. It's like I played it up a lot. Not played it up because I was struggling with a lot of anxiety in high school, where there was a lot of stuff I was really worried about and I was sad about and stuff like that. But I think I got to the point where I was like really annoying to a lot of my friends because all I did was kind of complain.
One other thing that I should say that I've grown out of is like which I miss in a lot of ways, but I do understand why I have grown out of it, is like the childlike excitement and fun and whatever. I'm assuming that it kind of goes away as you like get older, especially as I've kind of like boosted my way from high school, and then COVID happened, and then I did PSEO, which is like college in high school, and then I did college, and then now I'm here in a full-time job also doing college, so I've like pushed the boost button on a lot of stuff. And so like some of the childlike excitement and smiles and laughs has kind of like been left in the rear view mirror, which hopefully I can still find a lot of joy in like something like this. But the thing that I have lost, that whether for good or for bad, is kind of that childlike.
I definitely feel that too, because like the one thing that always comes to mind too for me is like Christmas. When I was young, dude, I used to always be so excited for Christmas. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't really care for the holiday. I mean, as a Christian, I'm happy. I enjoy it for the fact of like Jesus and his birth and the whole story behind that. But as the actual holiday, I'm usually pretty happy when it goes away. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird.
Well, the thing is, we're old enough to like. Okay, Christmas music starts in like September, which is next month, and
all I want for
no. And like, the whole gift thing, when you get older, it's not as much of a big deal because like we're making our own money, right?
Yeah, and because that's the thing too. Like, yeah, you make your own money. You're not. Oh man, I can't. I hope my parents get me this game or this Lego set or something. Now you just get to the point where we just buy something if we really want it. Which, like, my parents haven't necessarily gotten me a gift in like years, which isn't. It's just, why would they? I have the money, and I also don't ask for anything anymore. My mom gets mad at me because she'll be like, so what do you want for your birthday or Christmas? And I'm like, I don't know. It's like, what do you mean you don't know? I'm like, I don't know. I don't really want anything. And it's like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, you grow up and you start seeing more of the adult side of things with the holidays like that. And it's like,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, like okay, like I'm not like, oh boy, it's almost Christmas Eve like it used to be. Now it's like, oh, it's Christmas Eve. Well, I'm going back to bed.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, that one actually like ties into our next question about what is something you miss about your past self. And I guess this is probably something a lot of adults feel, but for me, it's like the feeling of kind of childlike naivety, like not knowing anything. Because it's like when you really don't know how the world works, you are so content.
That's true.
When you start learning,
When your world is smaller, you're not worried about the big stuff.
when you get older and you learn about like taxes, housing, jobs, politics, like real life stuff, that's when anxiety and like worries come into play. And it's like I do truly miss when I just didn't know anything. I didn't have to worry about any of that. Obviously, that's something you have to deal with eventually. Like you have to deal with what's given to you. You have to grow up. It's just that is one of those things where it's like, man, that is one thing where it's like if I was able to go back and just enjoy not knowing anything.
Yeah, for me, one thing that I miss from when I was younger, even just, a couple of years ago or whatever, is just the amount of free time that I used to have compared to now. Like I'm on a crunch time from now until probably when school gets out in the spring in May. Like it's going to be I'm already in the point where, I'm working full time. We're doing the podcast. I've got other things that I got to take care of on a weekly basis just to live, right? And
School on top of that.
School on top of that. I try to exercise as often as I can and keep myself and my mind grounded in faith and in just community, right? But like when you're younger in elementary school and middle school, even high school, you have so much free time. You have so much time to spend. Don't spend it like scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. That's useless. I did it for a long time. I've since eliminated that.
I'm just getting out of that addiction myself. It's terrible.
It's really
man.
bad. It's really bad.
It's bad for so many different reasons.
But something that it's like, yeah, I wish I had a whole lot more free time. And maybe I'll get to a point where I have a little bit more free time than I do right now, which would be great. But, if I don't, I'm content with where I'm at right now, as long as I don't have to do school for the rest of my life.
Well, yeah, see, it's eventually you'll have a better balance with life.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be in school forever. And working full time without school, you'll have a lot more free time.
Yes, I know.
But I get what you're saying. I 100% get what you're saying. Because I'm not working full time. I do have a job. I will be going to school. I have a bunch of other side projects. Like I have more free time than you, I still don't have as much free time as I would like or used to. Yep. And a lot of times when I do have free time, I do squander that. So, no, I get 100% of that. Free time is, the idea of free time is beautiful. That's why so many times I've saw like a comedian one time, he made this whole thing where he was like, yeah, I was talking to my one friend and it's interesting when you're a kid and it's like, what'd you do over the weekend? Oh, I hung out with my friend. I went to the park. I watched this. I did this. And then you talk to an adult. When you're an adult and you talk to another adult, you're like, so what'd you do over the weekend? And they say with great joy in their eyes, nothing.
Yeah.
It truly becomes that.
Yeah.
All right. To round it all off with these questions, if you were able to relieve. I said the same word that you did earlier.
Relive.
If you could relive one dumb but fun memory from your younger days, what would it be?
So if I were to relive, not relieve, but relive.
Oh, what a relief.
Relive a moment from when I was younger. We were thinking about this earlier, and I think one of the moments that was pretty fun, it's kind of like a conglomerate of the moments. When I was like early high school, I guess.
Yeah.
This moment is fun, but like me and a couple of my buddies and a couple of the people that I was in and around, we had a birthday party, and it was exciting because all we did was pretty much roam around the city, the neighborhood. We just kind of like did our thing, right? And there's a couple other times that are just like that. And this one was, we thought, oh, let's go to the store and let's buy Coke and buy Mentos and let's have fun and do Coke and Mentos. And so we set it all up and whatever. Science experiment. And we were filming it on our phones in slow-mo and taking Snapchats and doing all this stuff. And we set the Mentos in, and the first idea was to so my friend it was his birthday, he was gonna put the whole thing of Mentos in, screw the top on the bottle and shake it up so much, and then do the thing where you throw the bottle at the ground and it goes up, right? So his attempt of that was complete failure, but it was so funny. But he put the Mentos in, tried to get the top on, missed the top, the bottle fell, went sideways, the stuff was coming out, the Coke and Mentos solution was coming out at me. Luckily I was up in a tree above this picnic table.
You saw the writing on the wall, you're like, I'm getting the safety.
Yep, above this picnic table that this hole was this commencing, and shoots the bottle off like the one way, the opposite direction, right? And I was filming in slow-mo, and his sister was there, and she was right in direct line of fire of this bottle coming her way. And so you just see this slow-mo of like, whoa. Or just other moments where we're just like...
Man, I'm a terrible person. I was really hoping that story was going she's standing right here, she's going like right in the face.
She missed it by like 1.5 or 2 feet or whatever. But like different memories like that where you're just being kids, you're just having fun and experimenting and roaming around. You have a little bit more freedom. You have no care in the world until you get home and you realize you have to do homework or whatever. So yeah, that would be a moment that I would enjoy reliving.
For me, I'm going younger because I can't think of anything I did that was dumb in high school because I've never done anything dumb ever.
You sure about that?
Yeah, no, never. Never. Don't clip anything I've said on this podcast. But the one that comes to mind for me is, I was a weird kid in elementary school, and I had a lot of weird friends, but weird people are the most fun. I don't know if it was for you in elementary school, but in my elementary school, playing tag or games of chasing people was banned. Was it banned for you?
No, it wasn't.
Our school, you were not allowed to play tag or games that involved chasing people.
Uh-huh.
And because of the reasoning behind it was because people got hurt playing it, which I was like, I don't know, man. Whenever I played tag, we didn't do that. We just tagged each other. We weren't like, tag, you're it, and decking each other. Apparently, it actually came out that it's because some people were afraid that playing tag made people feel bad for being it or feeling left out or something, which is...
It's one of the dumb issues.
Yeah, I was going to say, which is ridiculous. What? Uh-huh. So a lot of times, me and my friends would come up with ways around the rule. We would create our own games where people would be chasing after each other, but it wasn't tag. So
you were like bending the rules.
We'd be chasing after each other, and the recess monitor would be like, hey, no chasing. We're like, oh, no, we're not doing this. You see, he's a two-headed monster, and he's trying to steal this bag of Doritos. I'm not making this up, by the way. This is actually a thing.
Oh, okay.
We had this whole storyline where one of my friends had two heads and he loved chips and he would chase us after us to get those chips. It was good times. But we'd be explaining it, and I don't know. I had like this silver tongue at like age 10 where I'd be able to word it in a way where they're like, okay, they're not chasing each other. Okay, I get it. Carry on. It'll be like, suckers. Like, I don't know. I was conniving on that, but like, when you want to, you get 20 minutes on recess. You want to make the most of it, not conform to the school's stupid rules. So I guess that's not necessarily, a dumb memory. The game we were playing was dumb, but I don't know. I had this like rush feeling, like we're playing this and they can't stop us. Yeah. Another dumb fun memory is so when me and my sister were younger, a lot of times when I didn't like playing video games with her because that was my time and I always wanted to play by myself and stuff like that. And usually when she would play with me, I was just like moping the whole time. But there was one game I really liked playing with her was Toy Story. So there's the movie Toy Story,
Yeah.
but then there's the Toy Story 3 video game that me and her would play, and
Was that on the Wii?
it was on. We had it on the PlayStation 3.
Okay.
It was most likely the same exact game. It's just it was on
Yeah,
multiple different
probably
consoles. It was a very fun game where there was like a sandbox mode where you just kind of build a town, do little missions, playing as like Woody and Buzz and Jesse and stuff like that. And one of the things you could do is that you could ride Bullseye, the horse, and my sister would do this thing, and as a kid, I would be on the ground laughing, where she'd be looking for the horse, and she'd just say in this weird voice and go, "Horsey, horsey," and just make this kissy noise over and over again, and just calling out for Horsey in this weird voice, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And she would do it every single time when we would play. I think I eventually would like ask her like, "Do the horsey thing," and she would do it for me. That's like the one pleasant memory I have of her, when she wouldn't throw me around like a rag doll. You know what you did. But I don't know, something like that. That's just, it's such a dumb thing. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Because I just be like, "Yeah, horsey."
I think the problem with like reliving old memories is, especially if you're like right now and you went back and relived that memory, I don't think it would be that fun or funny at all.
The thing is too, I lied, guys. I do dumb things. The things I'm doing now are dumber. So I'm like, "You think that was dumb? You ain't seen nothing yet." Like the things I'm doing right now are so stupid. Like the other day at work, I grabbed a big bowl of dough and chucked it at my buddy full force, and it hit his sternum and echoed throughout the whole kitchen.
Whoa.
And we were both stood there like, I'm like, "Did I kill you?" And he was like, "Ow." I'm like, "Okay, you're good." Like the stuff I'm doing now, like, I mean, that's just bottom of the dumb things that I'm doing now. So it's like, I don't know, it's like reliving old memories is kind of like, it's fun and all, but like, you know, we're still alive and we're going. There's gonna be more dumber, funner memories probably. I don't know if funner is a word, but you know what I mean.
Like if we redid this episode in 20 years, you would say, "Oh yeah, I was like chucking dough all around with my buddies at the pizza place."
I don't want to redo this episode in the next 20 years. You're gonna be like nice, handsome, and successful, and I'm just gonna be like 5 o'clock shadow, ragged clothes with a cardboard box. I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, man, 20 years ago, I had a house with my parents. Now I'm in a cardboard box."
I think you'll make it out. You'll do good. You'll do good.
With all that said, this episode was kind of a weird one, probably because it's kind of an amalgamation of like school days, when I grow up, who we are. Like it has kind of a lot of stuff similar to those elements, but the main point of it was just that, like, you know, we all, I know a lot of people who are like, "Oh man, I can't look at myself back then. Like, man, I was so annoying." Newsflash, we all were.
Yeah.
We all were so annoying at one point in our life, and we all grow.
Yep, absolutely. And that's kind of the...
And if you haven't, then that's a problem. But most people grow and mature.
It's part of the process.
It's always interesting to see where we were and where we are now.
Yes.
And as annoying and weird of a guy I am, I think I've grown a lot. And you probably feel the same way about yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. And I feel like you have grown and we've grown together. And
yes.
That's great. So today's verse comes from Romans. Romans 5:8. Another verse that kind of correlates with what's going on here. We're talking about our past selves, dwelling on them a little bit, but also just like exposing them a little bit more and giving some information to our past selves that will never actually see this. But if you are in the age range, hopefully you took something from it. But this verse kind of talks about, while we were once dead, now we are alive.
Romans 5:8. But God shows his love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us.
Despite all we've done in the past, despite what we might do in the future, and looking back at ourselves right now, we might think we're dumb and, whatever, annoying. it's covered by Christ's death on the cross, and it's an exciting feeling, a proclamation that we can say, you know what, despite what I've done, Jesus still lives and gives us freedom in anything that we've done, and the idea that, our past selves were annoying or stupid or any other acronym that you want to give it, right?
Pull my scroll.
Exactly. All the list of things that we would call ourselves back, even just a year ago, right? It's all covered by the blood of Jesus, and we're grateful for that. And I hope you are grateful for that too, whether you believe or are just, enjoying us talking, right?
Yep. Yeah, of course. That's all this podcast is supposed to be. Like, just no matter where you are, what you believe in, as long as you enjoy your time hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
And maybe you don't enjoy us, you just like making fun of us, that's okay.
Hey, you're still watching right
They're
now.
still watching us. You're still giving us views, sucker. Please don't leave. But with all that said, I think it's time to bring this episode to a close. Lots of giggles and chuckles were solicited. I insulted every single middle schooler out there. I think I need to watch. I think I have a target on my back now, but I mean, what are they going to do? Fortnite emote over my dead body? Probably. That's actually a terrible way to go out. Please don't. Now I'm scared. Peter, wrap this up for me.
Okay. Well, make sure to, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to leave a comment. Question for you guys. What was something that you, picked apart from us? I'm going to ask that they would tell in the comments something that was interesting that you learned from our conversation today, and maybe something you might be able to apply to your past self or future self. If you're younger, maybe spread out and have more friends. Or if you're older, maybe think about giving advice to younger people as well. With that being said, make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed today's episode. Subscribe and ring the notification bell to be notified every Friday when we upload. And if that changes with school and whatnot, we'll make sure to let you know.
But right now, it is currently Friday at 9 a.m. Central.
Exactly. So, we still got no outro.
And we never will. Toodles.
See ya.